Hey folks, welcome back to the Rock and Sea Homestead. My name is Lance. I want to welcome you to our channel. And today we're going to talk about the failure we had here in our 2020 Victory Garden already. And it's how we had our seedlings. They didn't do very well. I wouldn't say it's a total failure, but it's a pretty big bust. So as you can see, they didn't do very good. So let's talk about what happened. So unfortunately here on the homestead, not everything goes as planned and not everything's is, peaches and roses or whatever you want to say. But, sometimes you just have failures, you make mistakes and things just don't go as planned. And as I was saying earlier, our seedlings suffered this year. And it was definitely most of all of our faults and some things that were out of our control. So earlier in the year, probably about March, sometime in March, we did some, maybe February, late February, somewhere in there. We had a video. We'll put a card up here or at the very end of the video, go check it out, where we set up a growing station inside. We did a lot of seedlings and they came up really beautiful, but they started getting leggy on us. And by the time that we realized that they're getting leggy and we needed to adjust some of our lighting situations, the supply chain had been disrupted due to the COVID outbreak and we couldn't get any more of the lighting that we needed. And I couldn't find any at the big box stores or any of those kind of things. So I was kind of stuck with what I had. And I adjusted a little bit, but I just couldn't do anything. I could get lighting come June or July, way too far past what we need. So I have some ordered, and they're going to be for next year when we're kind of redo some things. But that's one thing about gardening. You're going to have failures. You just have to accept it and kind of move on and adjust and punt and whatever you got to do. And that's what we're going to do this year. So we've had to kind of adjust some things. But like I said, let's talk about what happened. So lighting situation, and actually when I built the light setup, people said, hey, how are you going to keep those from getting leggy? They may need to be closer. I thought we really had enough light, but obviously we didn't. My mistake, and we're feeling it now. But it's one of those things, it's a learning process. So as you can see here on the tomatoes, I just broke that one, got super leggy. And then, through the hardening off process, they are just dying out here. So these aren't going to be used. I just broke that one off accidentally here. But, they got super leggy. Now with tomatoes, if they get leggy, I'm not as worried about tomato getting leggy because you can plant it pretty tall, pretty deep, and it'll root through the vine and be fine. Now there's certain things that if it gets leggy, you cannot really do much with it. Like here on this lettuce plant, you can't plant it up to here. It just doesn't do that. So I said, I don't know what we're going to do with the lettuce. We are going to plant a couple of them, the ones that look pretty good. See if they make it. It's super late for us to plant lettuce here in Oklahoma. It's almost past the point of doing that. So we may start some seedlings again inside just for the lettuce. We're going to direct some stuff, see if it comes up and see how much we get. We're going to plant it here in this part of the garden. It's pretty shady. And right now, thank goodness we have some clouds, so it's not just baking it, but throughout the day, this is a real shady part of the garden, so that's why we like to plant the lettuce here. We've been kind of waiting to plant in these areas right here in this bed that I'm kind of leaning on. This is a brand new one that we built this year, so we kind of had to wait for all this stuff to happen before we can plant. So that's another thing that happened is we got super busy building out of our garden. So we do these big raised beds that are about 3 feet tall, 8 foot wide, 3 foot wide, or 8 foot long, 3 foot wide. And we love them. We don't have to bend over. We don't have to get on our knees, especially as we think about in the years to come, how are we going to garden? Are we going to be able to get on our knees and garden and do all those kind of things? We love the raised beds. We can put in our own soil. We make a great super soil. If you guys haven't seen that video, there'll be a link at the very end of the video. Not as many weeds get in here. It's just a great system for us. We live in central Oklahoma. We have red dirt, clay, nasty soil that just doesn't have a lot of nutrients and those kind of things just grow in the ground. It takes a long time to build up good soil here, and we just don't have that time. We work full time, so we have to kind of do what we can do. So this is what we've planned to do, and building these out, it took us a little bit longer than we expected, especially with our baby goats. If you guys don't know, we have goats and chickens here on the homestead, and we had 7 beautiful little baby goats. That took a lot of time. Plus, we just want to spend time with them because they're dang cute, and they play around, they jump around, they're just cute. So, we didn't pay as much attention and baby these little things as we should. It happens. But like I said, we do have a plan. We're adjusting and we're going to punt and we're going to make it work. So some of the pepper plants really did turn out good. So I'll show you one here that did a pretty good job. It's a little leany, but this pepper plant, it's an orange bell pepper. Great looking plant. We're going to grow it. We're going to, stake it up. And this one's great. I think this is going to make it a little leggy, but that's okay. It will just come on. You can't plant it too deep like you do a tomato, but you plant it other than that. You plant it like a tomato. It does like eggshells, likes the calcium. A little bit of leaf damage from trying to get it hardened off, but again, this is a really good looking plant for the most part. So, not all of them are disasters. So we're going to plant some. However, when it comes to like our tomato plants I was just showing you a while ago, a lot of them ended up looking like this. So we've had to kind of regroup and go out and purchase some others. And we had some friends and that are in the farming community that's grown some. We got some here from a farmer's market the other day. Unfortunately, this Arkansas Traveler, when we got it home, it fell and it broke it off. So we're not going to be able to plant this, but we have several plants that we're going to grow, and I'm going to show you those here in a little bit. But I think for the most part, I think we bought 3 pepper plants just to make sure, because at that point we weren't sure how many pepper plants we were going to be able to keep. But I think we have it good, a good idea of how many pepper plants we actually needed, and we bought a little extra. So we're going to plant those, but I think for the most part, it's all of our seedlings we're going to plant. It's really the tomato plants that really took the hit, and our lettuce, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit. So let's show you what we're going to plant here in our tomato bed. All right, so unfortunately, not all of our tomatoes made it. We do have a couple of them here. This is our Bumblebee from Baker's Creek. We really loved that last year. It was a great producer for us. There's some Isis candy cherry tomatoes. So those are ones we actually planted seedlings for. We're going to plant them out. These are kind of the best of the plants we had. And then if you can see, we've had to go out and purchase some from farmers markets or the big box stores. But again, it's one of those deals of, we had to adapt, adjust, overcome, and we're going to make it happen. We still want tomatoes. It's just unfortunately not the ones that we planted seedlings for back in February and March. And over here, we're going to have some more. I think we're going to plant 3. I think this is a Bonnie Best. No, this is a sauce tomato. So this is kind of a paste tomato here that we're going to plant. And so we got some other paste type tomatoes, like a Roma tomato. We're going to plant those there. They're going to go up and trellis over, just like we did last year. So again, just because, they weren't perfect, we're going to see how these go. We're actually going to put some more seedlings inside, start them, just in case these do fail. We can kind of bring them out and replant. They're going to be a little delayed, but we'll see what happens with them. At least we're going to get some other tomatoes in the ground, and it's not a total failure. Now, as you can see along this side here, these are our self-wicking watering beds, and this is going to be our pepper setup. So most of these are actually our peppers that we seeded, and I think they're going to be pretty good. Like I was saying, the peppers turned out really good. So let me kind of turn this camera around and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So as I was saying, our peppers turned out really well, and we have a lot of peppers going in here. I'm not going to tell you everything because you guys have seen that on another video here, but we have some banana peppers, we have some bell peppers, we have some jalapeno peppers, and we have a kind of variety of things here: bell peppers, banana peppers, those kind of things. As you can see, the plants do look pretty good. We've had to adjust and kind of punt, but it's one of those things in gardening. Just want to let everybody know that things are going to happen. You're going to fail. Pests are going to overtake it, especially if you're trying to grow organic or as organic as possible. Things are going to happen. It's not going to be perfect. As much as we want it to, we plan for it. We do everything we can. It's just things are going to happen, and you can't beat yourself up. You just have to kind of push on, push through it, and adjust and just overcome. And that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to do our best with the things we have, and if we need a supplement, we can supplement. So guys, hopefully you've learned something from here, and at least from our failures. One of the things we try to really do is shine lights on all different parts of the homestead, just not the bright, pretty things, but the failures, the sad things, if an animal's hurt or dead or whatever may happen, if your plants don't make it, if it gets overrun by pests or those kind of things. There's a lot of things that I think sometimes, especially on YouTube, you don't see some of the the bad stuff. Everybody just tries to show you the really good stuff, and I get why they do that, but you know, it's unrealistic to think that everybody's perfect, everybody's, you know, everything's hunky-dory all the time, because that's not how it is. I mean, we have a lot of things that we're learning on, and we make mistakes, and we have to adjust and learn, and hopefully you guys can learn from us on that. But you know, we do really appreciate you guys coming back, watching our videos. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, there'll be a link down below. Click that bell, so every time a video gets populated, you guys get a notification of that, and then you come watch the video. Make sure you leave us comments, give us some thumbs up. Of course, check us out on Facebook or Instagram. We do give daily updates of what's going on here around the homestead. It kind of helps out you guys keep ahead of us before the videos come out. But we really do appreciate you guys watching the videos all the way to the end. But from our homestead to yours, have a great day, keep growing, and we'll catch you on the next video. Bye.